Yo guys, Jens here, and today we are gonna talk about the AWC and Holy Paladin Mage, which is still the meta, obviously, because they didn't get nerfed, because they are immune to actually meaningful nerfs. And I'm gonna say what needs to be done to those classes. But before that, I want to talk about a thing that Supatis kept saying, which was for Mercy to bring out the Warlock against the God Comp, so against the Fire Mage, Shadow Priest, Holy Paladin. And I'm gonna tell you guys why I don't think he did it. And I shouldn't have to tell you. Probably you guys already know, but I don't know how Supatis kept saying this because he should know as well. So Mercy, I think it was twice or three times he died through cooldowns with Warrior. It was like 30% dampening. The mage popped Combust, and Combust at 30% dampening just kills through everything you have. He died through Link, Rallying Cry, and Die by the Sword while being in defensive stance. So if you think about it, the Red Warrior Resto Shaman has higher chances to kill before dampening than with a Warlock, and same with the Shadow Priest Warrior. So I think that's why, because if he brought out the Warlock and they played like a shadow play, they would have to wait for dampening, right? The Warlock comps can't kill anyone before dampening. That's how it works for some reason. Um, because we don't have enough single target pressure, the Holy Paladin just removes 15% of our damage. The mage just removes 10% of our damage. You put that together, and the only two targets that you can actually do kind of some damage is to the Holy Paladin and to the Shadow Priest, because the mage it's kind of immune to damage because of Triune with the Arcane Barrier, Dampen Magic, and Shadow Resistance Aura. So you can't really win before dampening. And like you saw in the tournament, if you didn't, I'm just gonna tell you, Combust at the higher dampening values just kills through everything. So we are talking about a class, a warrior, that died through every single cooldown they have, and every single cooldown they have, it's stronger than every single cooldown Warlock has. So what this means is, if you keep doing damage to a warrior, he's taking 20% damage less, and Warlock Saint. They have no damage mitigation, like you guys know, like I know. So that means that at some point in dampening, they don't even need Combust to kill the Warlock. They just need to hit him, and if they have combust, it doesn't matter what the warlock has. It just doesn't. It just dies through everything, like Mercy did. So I think they didn't brought up the warlock because he would have to outplay the team every single go, and even without playing, he could have died. Um, all they need is like a CS on the warlock, a 20% dampening, a CS on the warlock, a silence on the shaman, and they kill the warlock. It's it's simple. Within that 5 second window, they just kill the warlock. He can't port, he can't wall, trinket does nothing. You just kill him, and that's why they didn't brought up the shadow play, because warlock would just die. And even if you didn't get CS, which is hard not to get CS, because even at higher dampening stages you need to cast, right? You still need to cast Rapture to do damage, you still need to cast UA. Even if you didn't get CS, all they need is to get you without Trinket. And one Silos on the Shaman and the Warlock is dead. Through wall, right? If they kill the warrior in defensive stance through Link, Rallying Cry, and through Dive of the Swords, they're gonna kill your warlock through wall. And this is the problem. And this is the problem with Fire Mage. Combust is just broken. It's no way to say it. You see this like a warrior dying through every single button in the game at 30% dampening, and you know why for example Warlock is not as good as it should, because You need to get to dampening, and you're not even the strongest class in dampening. Fire Mage still is, because Combust is just so broken. And and that's what I hope they finally fix, which is combustion. It's not okay. So what happened from BFA to Legion to Shadowlands was that they removed the crit modifier. So crits now do 15% more damage than they did. I think it's 15. It was from 150 to 175. So they do 15% more damage, and that's huge for fire mages because they only crit with combustion. And that's why combustion is broken. So they need to remove that 15% damage from combustion. It's just that it's no conduit. It's even though the conduit obviously helps, but you die before you gets the full value of the conduit. It's not the conduit that is the problem. It's the fucking spell. It's the only spell that has 100% chance to crit, besides recklessness. So yeah, they just need to nerf the damage from combustion. And I'm at this point, I don't know if you guys are like that, but every time I see a Holy Paladin Fire Mage team in the AWC, I just AFK out because it's so boring. Like they only kill within combust windows, but when they kill the enemy team at some point can't do anything. Like it's just so boring to watch. And the Holy Paladin just keeps them alive. And this is the other issue, which is why Warlocks can't really play, because Holy Paladins just keep the mage alive until high dampening. Still, the mana change was good for ladder, but in terms of tournament, it's the same. It's kind of the same. You have the best players on that class. They will get drinks. They will be the most efficient with their cooldowns, and with the amount of cooldowns, they shouldn't have the true output they have. The true output needs a nerf. They need at least a 5 to 10% nerf in true output in terms of healing, and even that might not be enough. so, so yeah, like I just think that they should just do meaningful changes. I don't get why, for example, Warlocks got nerfed by 20% in Malefic Rapture in the PTR, and like every time it's a Warlock, it's they come with a hammer, and every time it's like a Fire Mage spec or a Holy Paladin spec, they just don't do enough. Just nerf the two fucking classes, man. The two specs, just nerf them. And besides that, we saw something that I wanted you guys and everyone to see, which was enhancement shaman. Everyone is talking about red of healing, and red of healing still it's still broken. If you saw the tournament, you saw Mystic, he almost did the same healing as their healers still, but Enhancement Shaman is another spec that is also broken in terms of off healing. It just needs a nerf. Just nerf all off healing that is not casted. Make them cast, man. Just make them have to cast. And if they get kicked, they can be punished because red can't bubble, and the Enhancement Shaman can't wall or shear. But yeah, guys, like for me, they just need to. Right now, the perfect situation is for them to nerf these three specs or four specs. Red Paladins in terms of Divine Tool still, Divine Tool and healing, Enhancement Shamans in terms of healing, and Holy Paladins in terms of healing, and Fire Mages in terms of combust. It was super boring. I was watching the games and I was like, oh my god, man, can someone just do something before combustion, please? Just buff their damage, but nerf the combustion. It was so disgusting to see, and we saw no warlocks. We saw one warlock which got trained by a warrior and yeah, just lost. And it feels like the most fun matchup for me. It was a turbo against TSG, and that's because they have constant pressure. It was because they had constant pressure, so it was way more fun to see. I don't think warriors need a nerf in terms of damage. I think every other class needs a buff in terms of damage. I think warriors intervene, it's a bit too strong, and should be reduced in terms of duration, and should be a higher cooldown, like a 45-second cooldown. And Ignore Pain, it's a bit too strong as well. I would like a rage increase, so they have to choose between damage and defensive. But yeah, guys, like the AWC was boring. The viewership was cut in half almost since the first one or more, because they do no tuning. They just do no tuning. So let's hope today we see some tuning in the night, and tomorrow when I wake up, I maybe have a good, finally good live reaction video, because these changes haven't been enough. It's just that. Like you can't have and for you guys that say that I always complain about warlocks, like there's one warlock in EU in the top 250. One. It's Walrix. There's one warlock above 3k. Okay, guys. Uh, and the only reason is you can. It's so boring as well. You can't kill anyone as a warlock team before dampening, but you can die 10 to 15 times maybe. And that's why they didn't brought out Mercy didn't play Warlock in the tournament. Why would you, right? If you have comps that can kill before dampening, and then you need to bring out a Warlock and are even better in dampening, then you bring out a Warlock and you can die every single go before dampening, and in dampening you can die as well, and you can't really punish still. Like, makes no sense. They just need to make changes. They need to shake up the meta. There's no way about it. They just need to remove fire mages and holy paladins from the meta. They have been the meta since Legion, I think. I think every single tournament since Legion, holy paladin and fire mage have been in the meta. Just buff frost and remove fire, man. I'm I'm one of those old guys that thinks some specs shouldn't be viable for the game, and this is why fire mage. It's showing why I think that, because like Fury for Warriors, when it's good, it's not because it's like in a good place and it's healthy for the game. No, it's because it's fucking broken, and Fire it's broken. Sorry guys, like if a Fire Mage can kill through Link, Rallying Cry, Die by the Swords, and Ignore Pain, and defensive stance, man, they should be nerfed back quite a bit, and just buff Frostbolt. Seriously, buff Frostbolt, Ice Lance, and just remove this abomination that is fire, man. And Holy Paladins as well. And I'm repeating myself, but I'm just so done. It's every single game was Holy Paladin Fire Mage, man. Don't they see this shit? Don't they watch their own AWC? I wouldn't, obviously, because fuck me, if I would watch AWC as a dev, I would just cringe as fuck. I would just cringe at the game design, even though I'm working on it, right? Like, but yeah, guys, let's hope we see finally some real tuning, some hybrid of healing gone, some holy paladin fire mage true nerfs, and yeah, guys, peace.